Okay, guys. So are you guys actually seeing this stream? This is an entirely new setup for me. So I want to make sure it's actually going out to you guys. I know there's a little delay. I got to wait. I want to make sure you guys are actually seeing this. Do. Is everybody happy? No. Yes. Are we live? Nobody seeing anything. What a shocker. Okay, you guys. Okay, you guys. Everybody's seeing. Okay, that's why I had to double check. This is the reason I was asking. This is an entirely new setup, guys. I'm gonna have to learn to get them set up this way because YouTube's taken the traditional way away from us. So, okay, good. I just want to make sure you guys were actually all seeing the stream and everything. Now, what I'm seeing, wow, I think the delay is longer now though, doing it this way. But in any event, we got some weird grandpas on my screen. Well, Flame Enforcer. I mean, that how could anything be more titillating on a Sunday afternoon than a weird grandpa on your screen? Let's see. Nice timing. Me and my best friend have food about to be delivered. Oh, I like when food's about to be delivered, lifer. We're having actually we have some friends coming down this evening, and they're going to bring dinner with them. They just got into Animal Crossing. It's a married couple, and they just got into it, and of course, Spaz Kid and my wife are already way into it, so they're coming down to exchange information. I'll be the odd man out because I don't fucking play Animal Crossing, but it's okay. Wholesome Deuce says, "Can we cut all power and resources to Chaz to see how they would fare? I'm curious to see what would happen." Well, it cracks me up. The whole thing with Chaz is just it's hysterical to me. I mean, it's we've been talking about it in the streams. Hey, Chrome, we've been talking about it in the streams all along. And Chrome, as a matter of fact, has been giving us a lot of the information, the updates, the links to see what exactly has been going on, and it just humor. And on one side of the coin, it's funny as hell. On the other side of the coin, it's also annoying because it's like, in what world do we live in where people are allowed, at any rate, to just go over and or to just go and take over several blocks of a city, and the city representatives, the city administrators, go, huh, look at that. Yeah, they put up a fence. Well, nothing we can do. They put up a fence. Are they exchanging stock prices? Oh, they talk all that stuff, Flame Enforcer, and I don't. It all goes past me because I have no idea about basically anything other than what I've watched over the shoulder of my wife and Spaz Kid. I have no idea what goes on in Animal Crossing. Barry says, let's combine Chaz and Afghanistan to form one happy autonomous country. All hail Supreme Leader Curtis. Oh, yeah. Well, the thing of it is, you know, Barry's, if Afghanistan and Chaz were incorporated together, the Afghanistanians would beat their stupid soy boy asses and just take over. So they bring the food, guys. Spaz Kid brings the hookers. Well, if he does, at least there'll be something for me to enjoy too. Okay, Chrome's got another link for us. Check it out if you guys want. It's right, she's got a Twitter link. Hold on, let me open a new window. I see it's from Andy. I never didn't. How does he pronounce the last name? Go. No, I didn't see this one. I was gonna say I saw some of his posts. After hours of not being allowed to use the bathroom, protesters inside UCPD headquarters are relieving themselves inside a tent they have at the back of the room. Ah. Oh, what the fuck? They're urinating and defecating inside a tent. Oh, yeah, it's gonna it's gotta be smelling delicious in old Chaz. I still say, listen, you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Please, I like having conversations about this stuff. Tell me if I'm wrong. If they have a sign up there on their barricade that says you are now leaving the US. So if that's their stance, why don't we give them the respect that they want and respect the fact that they say they are autonomous and they have left the United States? Now, since they are no longer U.S. citizens, that means they just captured U.S. territory. It's no different than if Russian military came in and took over 6 blocks of Seattle. So our response should be the same as if any other invading faction had taken over American soil, correct? I I don't understand how this is different. I say, yeah, we go in and, just no differently than we would handle any other insurrection. Yeah, Wholesome Deuce says, I saw a video of some people walking around with guns policing the area. There was another video out where they were on their megaphones explaining to the people that some rifle club or something is there, and they are there on our behalf to protect us. Hey, Curtis, I watched you and Spaz Kid from way back, Ryan says, in Family Guy Back to the Multiverse time. Well, thanks. From Ireland. Well, thanks. I appreciate that, my friend. Right, Itachi? If they want to be recognized and respected, let's recognize them for who they say they are, and they're not American citizens, and they have just taken over American soil. Seems like somebody should get in there and take care of that. They also have them, I'll call themselves police, have black-only food sources and support frisking people. I did hear about that. They're doing pat-downs and everything. I think that's too dangerous. Some people could die. Well, content, to be fair, when you invade another nation, you have to come in expecting potential casualties. No? I mean, if you're saying you are not Americans, you just took over American soil to create your autonomous nation, you basically took away our land. Now, in an invasion, you're saying that you shouldn't expect that there might be casualties? They're like ticks. They suck the life out of us, Kenny says. Drone strike time, Morgan says. From above. Chaz. Willie says, Chaz is now the most third world country. I'll bet the Africans are happy. With an image of a tweet. Okay, Chrome, I'll watch for it. Check the post below. Okay. I can't wait for Trump to announce he's pulling federal welfare from Chaz. Let's see how they feel. Wolverine, no. No, I'm not calling backs up for the punches. The media would spin that saying Trump killed protesters. Well, I think they do. There is, to some degree, I think they do hope for a military-style intervention so they can say that Trump is a dictator and he's strong-arming them. I think that's the only reason he hasn't done anything so far. Hopefully he's smart enough to realize that. Barry says, if we're going to recognize them as an independent country, we should cut off the power, gas, and water to their buildings. Also build a wall. They won't have their passports so they can't come back in. That was another question I had, Barry. You brought that up, and I got thinking about that too. If they are not official American citizens any longer, so when that ground is taken back, and America will reclaim its soil, when it's taken back, where do they go to live? I guess they can apply for citizenship, right? Nolan says, occupants of Chaz, we are totally autonomous and need nothing from anyone. Yeah, I know. Isn't there irony in that? Also, hey, can some government officials bring us tofu, vegan hot dogs, and coffee so we don't have to leave? I see them begging for shit all the time. They got their signs out there. Krusty Bomb says, honestly, I want to see how long they last without access to the rest of the U.S. No water, no food, no electricity. Besides, the dipshits have no idea how plants work. That was funny. For any of you who didn't see it, just go up and Google search. I'm sure it'll come up. Just Google search Chaz Garden and see the garden they created. How they're gonna. This is how they're going to feed themselves. They're going to sustain themselves. What was it? 3 hours that all the plants were dead. I did read their demands, Bob. That there's just pure insanity. I mean, these are. Come on, let's be honest. The people in there are life's losers. That's all there. They're typically just the type that you pat them on their little head and send them on their way because, again, they have no real effect on life in any way, shape, or form. But in Seattle, where you have one of life's losers as the mayor and an absolute dipshit as a governor of the state, it's someplace you can get along. You see that Portland, even as liberal as Portland is, they were trying to set up an autonomous zone there. They sent in the cops and said, "Yeah, you're not fucking doing that." Chrome says, I swear to God, this is basically becoming Tumblr deviant art. LOL. Furries, commies, fat acceptance people, and now the mental insane ABDL types. Okay. Now, again, click on Chrome's links if you want to see more of what we're talking about here, guys. After hours. Okay. Okay. Protesters still peeing in diapers and tents, and there's a rally set for 10:30 here. Hold on. What am I? Protesters. I've got the urinating and defecating one again. Yeah, I've got that one. I got that one. I keep seeing tweets about a self-proclaimed warlord in Chaz. Yeah, it was that SoundCloud rapper. Did they get rid of him, you guys, or is he still walking around as Chaz's police force? I don't know if they tossed him out or not, because shortly after he apparently became warlord, they dug up some old tweets of his where I guess he had said some really homophobic things, and that that don't play well in Chaz, so that took him right down. Salt King says, I think a place where people can be 100% independent of government, not in Seattle, but somewhere, is a good idea. Once you go there, you have to stay as a catch. Right, if you want to be autonomous, Salt King, you have to honestly be autonomous. These people, not only are they not autonomous, they don't want to be. They're the ones begging for stuff. You know, they've been negotiating with the local officials to keep their power on it. They're not autonomous at all. The taxpayers are paying for everything they have in there, basically. Hellenistic Helmet says, blocking traffic is... Oh, you're talking... This is Kyle, okay? I won't go into that because I didn't see the first part of it. Lixbox says, come to Chaz, local grown foods, friendly locals, a fair and balanced economy, and functional and well-managed amenities. Yeah, it's got all the best, Lix. I certainly wouldn't be able to afford to live there with all those, like you say, with all those amenities. Want to be gangsters? You think so? Kinda. I think more than gangsters content, I think it's want to be revolutionaries. But I guarantee, again, they're getting away with it because of Seattle. If times got tough at all, they would just go back, to mom's basement. Smokey Loki says, can we savor the delicious irony that the people in Chaz who have built a wall and carry firearms are supposedly against walls and firearms? Yes, I was saying the same thing, Loki. The first thing they did is built a wall. And then they got called out on it on social media. People were saying, well, I thought you guys were against walls. And the response was, is as stupid as the wall itself. The response was, well, they already had threats of somebody is going to use their car and ram into Chaz. That's why we have a wall on the border, so people who are threats can't come in. It's exactly the same thing. You're building the wall for exactly the same reason, so you know who has come into your autonomous zone. That's exactly why. And they don't even see, they're too stupid to see the hypocrisy in that. And then, yes, there's video of them talking about the people, the gun club they have coming in with their guns to protect themselves. So it took them a matter of minutes to become all the things that supposedly they fight against. Again, they're dimwits. I mean, they're just life's losers. But even for life's losers, they're pretty spastic. Edgar says, I wonder when this Chaz thing is over and some of the former Chaz people look back at this embarrassment and say, boy, we're a bunch of fools. Maybe, Edgar. I think some of them might mature someday, but a lot of them, I think, are happy just to be, society's left behinds and misfits. I think a lot of them are just comfortable with it. Chrome says, a tale of two stories of Chaz, which is true, I wonder. Okay, this is another Chrome link if you guys want to check it. Mayor says, Mayor Jenny Dimwit says, Seattle is fine. Don't be so afraid of democracy. Democracy? How the fuck is it democratic when somebody takes somebody else's land by force? What? She's really stupid. Seattle police chief, rapes, robberies, and all sorts of violent acts have been occurring in the area, and we're not able to get to them. So, yeah, but no, Mayor Jenny says everything's fine. I'll tell you, the biggest idiot in all of this is Seattle's mayor. There's no question about it. I mean, she's just completely fucking useless. Kenny says, next post, okay. Chaz is six square blocks of Seattle, Eli. It's an autonomous zone. If you want to go and poop in a tent, that's your place. See, to me, Chaz is basically again these society's losers saying, "Hey, Mom, is it okay if we go out in the backyard and we play camping?" I was expecting to see when they set up their little city. I was expecting to see it with like dining room furniture with like blankets over the top, building a fort like we all did when we were kids. They're building their little forts out there, and they're being cool. Democracy by conquering territory, yeah, Alex. But again, in all honesty, I should say, literally, what they have done is become terrorists. I mean, by a literal sense. When you take over a part of a sovereign nation and declare it as yours and no longer a part of that nation, if not a terrorist act, it's at least an invasion. And why are they not being treated as such? That's how they want to be treated. They're saying that they are not part of America anymore. Kenny says, I will put anthrax in their toilets, leaving the RE virus in their gardens. I will eat their leftovers and turn their infants into zombie babies by summoning Cthulhu. Problem solved. Works for me. High Rise says, yay, finally caught a stream. Who needs sleep anyway? High Rise. Wow, at 3:25 a.m., pal? Holy shit. So you are, let's see, so it's got to be on the 15th. So you're 14 hours ahead of me. Wow. I give you props for having that kind of stick-to-itiveness to be up with us at this hour. Holy crap. This is Kyle says, technically it's democracy since democracy is mob rule. That's why pure democracy is inherently bad. Well, I guess you could say, I guess you could make the case, Kyle, inside of Chaz. We don't really know what's going on, but you could say it's democratic, and you're right. That's why we have the system that we do. But the mayor wouldn't know that anyway. Nobody knows really what's going on in there except the losers that are in there. Barry says next post if Overlord Susan approves it. Well, that's always the question. I don't think SpongeBob is gay. The guy says, yeah. Did you guys see that too? And Hillenberg, when he was alive, said that SpongeBob is asexual. And to be fair, the thing that Nickelodeon posted made it look like he was gay, but it did say something about respecting gay people and their advocates. So in fairness to them, I don't know if they've clarified at all. They could be saying what Hillenberg said is true and he's asexual, because didn't the alphabet people, LGBTQ, don't they claim asexual as well? I don't know how they get to claim who is a part of their group, but apparently they claim them as well. So it seemed like they were saying he was gay, but it could be that they were in agreement with Hillenberg and they were just saying that he sympathizes. Mayor Jenny, with her countless armed guards and Nolan says, near impenetrable bunker, is having a difficult time seeing the problem. Yeah, Mayor Jenny, I mean, she's an idiot. She's a blithering idiot. That's all there is to it. It's just insanity. Wolfie says, imagine people like the Chaz guys laugh at country bumpkins and flyover states, but who's self-sufficient and who's begging for food after 2 days? You're 100% right, Wolfie. You're 100%. Yeah, can you imagine if in the worst of all possible scenarios, there ever was international war to break out again, and parts of this nation were cut off from the grid, and you had to survive on your own. You're proving right there the people in Seattle, Portland, those regions, most major cities, I think, would just be toast, because we saw what their garden looks like. They're not exactly the self-sufficient sorts, and they generally don't have guns. If they do, are they too squeamish to shoot, kill, and eat animals as well? Well, yeah, they can't. They're vegans. So yeah, that would they wouldn't last a long time. They're not lasting a long time in Chaz. Chrome says, these people are so ridiculous. 450 plus people have put their homes up for sale in Seattle now because of it. Also, you want to see real? Wow. But the thing of it is, Chrome, how are they going to sell their houses now? Who the hell would ever move in there? Uh, Elijah Schaefer says, this is the tweet. The autonomous zone has the right to reject you. A citizen of Chaz yells at a street preacher being held down by Antifa as he screams, I am free citizen, while they pry his speaker from his hands and chokehold him at one point face down like George Floyd. Wow. Wow, the Chasters. It didn't take long to get there. And you look at the groups that are in there. You can look at them and it's like, yeah, these are the people. These are the people that the real world leaves behind. This is how they're perfect targets for the Jim Joneses of the world and stuff, because they're losers with nothing else going on, and I guess this gives them something of a feeling of significance, maybe, or acceptance by association with other losers. I don't know. And Morgan says, Chaz is such a douchey name to be expected. Yeah, good point, Morgan. That acronym could not have been more fitting, because, yeah, it's clearly douchey. Smokey Loki says, celebrities preaching about white guilt and posting a black box on social media are really irritating. Bringing about real change requires actual effort, risk, and sacrifice, none of which they'll do. Yeah, I think, oh yeah, the celebrities are just absolutely annoying, Smokey Loki. The people that can bring about real change have been in the streets, and I have a lot of respect for them. We're not talking about the ones setting fires. We're talking about the ones who are actually out there protesting, making their voices heard, stringing together cogent speeches, illustrating their points. Douchebag celebrities singing their songs or doing their dances or whatever other forms of idiocy they come up with are just, yeah, they're nothing. The real people, the ones who are actually affecting change, have been out in the streets protesting, not rioting. Barry says, if Chaz citizens want to come back to the U.S., we should deny their citizenship requests. I think so. I think they should have to get in the back of the line from everybody else that's waiting. Give them to immigration police if they try illegally to come in. That'll teach them not to mess with America. And by doing that, all you're doing is respecting what they had themselves had set up, because they're the ones who have said that they have left the country, they have set up their own autonomous region. So when you say that you have given up your citizenship, I'm all for that. I don't understand why couldn't that, I mean, from a legal standpoint, couldn't that be said? If haven't they declared or abdicated their U.S. citizenship? So when finally enough people get sick of this and Chaz is dismantled, they shouldn't be citizens anymore, I would say. Chaz it up, LT says. Lud says, now that's an idea, but very expensive house for low price while the Chaz is taken over. That's true. Wait for them to get kicked out, sell for higher price, or keep it once things are peaceful again. Stonks. You might not be wrong, Lud. It's just like the market. Buy low, sell high. Right? You'd probably buy those houses right now for a significant reduction in price. And yes, they're not going to get to play campground forever. So when they do get kicked out, Seattle, we all know, is an extremely high rent area of the country. Yeah, you might be able to turn yourself a nice profit there. You got a good point. Is Chab similar to Slab City? Prime says. Hello People says the riots are causing way more trouble than influencing people to make changes. Yeah, and in fairness, Hello People, I think that the true organizers, I don't know what an organizer is, but if they have some, the true organizers of the protests are hurt by the rioters, and I think they're aware of that. But I do agree with what the protesters or the organizers of the protests have been saying. From what I've seen, it does seem to be not across the board, but the large portion of the rioters, the looters, are just opportunists. I don't think they ever cared about any type of cause. They used the fact that these protests were going on as a form of cover so they could perform either they could get a free flat screen or they could be the little anarchists that they were starving to be. Content says not being a citizen of any country is horrible. Maybe prison time would be enough. Well, like I say, it just my point basically with that content is they've opened themselves up to a world of different possibilities. Because whether Mayor Jenny Dipshit likes it or not, the federal government, and again, I understand why they aren't, but the federal government can intervene here. You still have a group that has terrorized literally by definition, has terrorized a portion of the United States. So yes, the federal government, if nothing else through the Insurrection Act, could absolutely go in and take care of that. But I do think Trump is being advised that, listen, this is what they're trying to do, especially with an election come up. They want you to be seen as the big bad villain. So I think that's why they've held back. Let's see. Those morons, Boruto says, are all up in their emotions, not using logic at all. And if the situation gets worse and more violent, the mayor should be the blame for this. What a terrible lead. Oh, absolutely, Boruto. If anything goes wrong in there, if some of the rumors are true, if someone's being raped in there, if people are being beaten in there, anything like that happens, it's all on the mayor. I mean, if you're going to sit there as the mayor of that city and say, well, if they just want to take over this area and do whatever they want, it's fine. They can. Then you're accepting the responsibility for what goes on in there. Because clearly, I'm just curious, if it was like a white supremacist group or something, would the mayor, and they were just as these people are, at least to the mayor, and they weren't causing any commotion or anything, they were just having speeches and smoking some pot or whatever the case may be, but it was white supremacists who did it, would Mayor Jenny have the same take? Is it just because of the political leanings of these people, or are you saying that it's cool for anybody to just go? Maybe as Gooshers we could go just take over part of Seattle. We've always wanted to do a meetup. We'd come up with a better acronym than Chaz too. Barry says, if Chaz can Chaz it up, can we goosh it up in Afghanistan? Fair is fair and love is stupidity. That's what I'm saying, Barry's. We should be able to. Excuse me, guys. I got a horrible itch in my ear. We should be able to go over, take a portion of Seattle too, right? I mean, I don't think the Chasters applied for any special permits or anything, and they did it. Why can't anybody go do that then? It's because she lost in a children's card game, LT says. Dylan says, my cat just pissed on my carpet. Oh, and cat piss is so strong. Chrome says, now I'm just having fun, LOL. This post going around about the garden is true. Can't wait for Corona to become a major export of Chaz. I got to see this. And again, I'm on Chrome's link if any of you guys want to check it out. Chaz, people planning on using human shit as fertilizer. Jesus. Please tell me they're stupid enough to use raw human shit on plants they intend to eat. And I like the picture that goes with it. You mustn't laugh. You mustn't. They're really... So that was something that is actually being considered? I don't doubt it. I mean, again, they're... Let's face it, folks. It's not the best and the brightest in chess. Nothing would actually be a surprise to me. Yeah, we could... I don't see why the Gooshers couldn't go over. Again, they're allowed to just take over a section of the city. Why shouldn't anybody else be? I mean, fair is fair. Plot twist, Carol Baskin is the SoundCloud warlord, LT says. We need a Goosh Kage, Wolverine. Yeah, yes, we do. Yeah, we definitely got to have a Goosh Kage. And it won't be a SoundCloud warlord. Can I legally kill the Chaz people? Can I bring a gun from where I live to Seattle? Hello People says. See, there's so many things we don't understand. Hello People. Well, I don't think it's ever legal to kill people, but I do think that we have our military has every right to go remove or deal with an invading force that has claimed autonomy on what used to be American soil. Yeah, I think absolutely they can. I think so. Cheap Jump Scare says I give them 8 days and I'm being generous. I think they can go that long only because I think Mayor Jenny will do everything she can to help them, because now she's really aligned herself with the losers. And so I think she needs it to, it's never going to be, but she's hoping at some point it'll be seen as something serious and like they've made a difference or something. That's another thing. I mean, with the protests, we understand what they were protesting, racial inequality and asking for people of color to be treated the same by law enforcement as our white people. The Chasters just like haphazardly wrote down a bunch of demands once they realized they were having a block party and they needed a reason to be there, or they wanted to present a reason to be there. Morgan says, Curtis for Gush Kage 2020, sticky stuff for all. Absolutely. Sticky stuff everywhere. I'd rather have the people fight them rather than the military, Flame Enforcer says. Well, the thing of it is, no, I don't think that would be good, though, Enforcer. I mean, if it really did come to that with removing them, they would send the military in to just take them away. Whereas if you had the people go in and do it, if you turned loose like these citizen militias and stuff who are chomping at the bit to get at somebody, that would be really bad for them. Alex says, who even elected this mayor? Well, you got a lot of these type of losers all through the Pacific Northwest, and specifically Portland and Seattle. A lot of them. Chrome says they're getting funding from GoFundMe for Chaz, as well as people trucking in supplies and stuff. The police are being told not to enter the area by mayor, so it'll go on until they force Trump's hand. Yeah, it'll go on for a while. Well, and the thing is too, Chrome, despite how crazy left Seattle might be, you may see enough people out there even get tired of this to the point where they say, okay, let's, enough is enough. Because what exactly are we proving here? Their lists of demands are, of course, they're just moronic. Nobody's paying any attention to them. And why would anybody give in to any demands? They don't have any leverage. When you make demands, it's because you have a hostage or something like that. You have something to act as leverage. They can go in and take that shit away from them anytime they want. You don't even need the military. Again, you can just send the Seattle police in and say, okay, playtime's over, get the fuck out, and they'll be out. So they have no reason to be there. It's not like they actually have a list of demands that anyone is considering meeting. Look for last post, Wolverine says. Excuse me. You'll be the Gushkage. The mods will be your advisors. We can pass around Brax as a punching bag. I got my punching bag in there now. I got Bob in there. Oh, it's been so good being able to hit a bag again. Chrome says, okay, this isn't a news post, but this is scary how accurate this comparison is someone made. Saw the film, and it's pretty one-in-one. Let me see. I'm checking the link in Chrome's post. Live rendition of Idiocracy playing out. So much more realistic. Yeah. I should go watch Idiocracy again. It's been years since I saw that. That is kind of cool. After several hours, Joe finally gave up on logic and reason and simply told the cabinet that he could talk to plants and that they wanted water. I absolutely love their garden. That's just one of my favorite things ever is their garden. Maz says the people in Seattle already are tired of this. There's footage of people in some kind of community event screaming at officials to fix this shit, and they just laugh at them. Oh, really, Maz? I haven't seen that one yet. Well, you would think. I mean, again, the normal people with real lives, not the losers that are in there, regardless of your political leanings, you got to get tired of playing with the children after a while. It's one thing to let the kids throw their little tantrum or whatever this is, but after a while, the adults have to take over and say, okay, now, back to the basements and and it's time for the grown-ups to handle things again. Kyle says, you notice most of their demands are very communistic. Oh, absolutely. Free college, free healthcare, free housing, because for some reason these idiots think those are rights. Well, the reason they think they're rights, Kyle, is because, again, they're losers. They're useless. So the only way they're going to achieve certain things is if somebody else pays for it for them. There's no mystery there. That's exactly what it is. Wholesome Dude says they don't like Trump because he's a person of color. The white color. Real talk though, if you're going to take over a neighborhood, why the fuck would you pick Seattle? Well, like, good point. Except that's the only place they'll get away with it. You have to have You have to have a place that is so left leaning it's over the edge. Because as I said, even in Portland, after they saw what happened in Seattle, of course, Portland decided they would do something similar, and the cops went right in and said, "No, you're not doing that." So that's the reason why. It's not by accident things like that happen in Seattle. Chrome says they're gardens, plural now. Again, there's a white people garden with crops and a black people garden that has no crops so far. The garden with crops is dying though, so eventually they will equalize. Well, that's what they want. They want everyone to be equally poor. And that they're going to get. Barry says, Chaz can have Seattle. We can have the Microsoft or Boeing offices just outside of Seattle. Perfect internet, no stream lag, and free airplanes. What could possibly go wrong? Nothing, right? Yeah. I don't see why not. Yeah, I'm sure somebody went over and, like you say, took over Microsoft or Boeing. I'm sure the reaction would still be the same as it is now. It'd just be like, oh, what are you going to do? They're upset and they want to party. I mean, seriously, if Mayor Jenny isn't the dumbest piece of shit in this country right now, I just don't know who is. Kyle says, I think they believe their rights because we have raised 2 generations now teaching them that the government is there to take care of them. A lot of people have that belief. And they're so simple that, and you see it all the time on social media, they honestly believe in free stuff. They can't even wrap their brains around the concept of the fact that free stuff doesn't exist. And if you're given something, it's because somebody else paid for it for you. The free stuff is not out there. I mean, not that they care, but they don't even know the difference. But again, you have to understand, if you're somebody who has no ambition and you have no plans on trying to do anything with your life, the only alternative you have to living that manner and not living in abject squalor is to have everybody else who does want to get ahead pay for things for you. That's how it works. Excuse me. Whereas Hulk Hogan, we need him, Duke Devlin says. Just here, too, though, between the riots and things like this going on with Chaz and stuff, that, what is that, over the last couple months, there's been over 2 million new gun owners in America, and the sales of guns and ammunition are just through the roof. Yep. If one thing that the left really despises, of course, is gun ownership, and they've pretty much cemented that for quite a substantial amount of time now. After what we've seen with all this, people will do anything, and I mean anything, before they'll give up any gun rights now. Willie says, if Mayor Horbag is aligned with the Chasters, then that is an elected U.S. official aiding an invading force, and that is treason. That's true too. That's true. Because again, if these Chasters honestly, genuinely want to be recognized for who they say they are, then they're an invading force. They have taken over a part of American soil. And then you would say, okay, well, if that's how you want to be recognized, we recognize you that way. Now we have to deal with you that way. This is why all politics should be decided with duel monsters. Flame Enforcer says, I'm okay with that. Yeah. Children's card games for the win. That'll straighten everything. Yeah, I would agree. Crazy Gamer says, Curtis, do you know anyone with a Nintendo Switch? Well, it's funny, Gamer. Yeah, you weren't in here earlier. I was just saying tonight we have some friends of ours coming over, and they both just recently got the Animal Crossing game on their Switches, and they're coming over. They're bringing dinner over so my wife and Spaz Kid can help them learn more about Animal Crossing, since my wife and Spaz Kid have been playing. So yes, pretty much everybody has a Nintendo Switch that I know except for me. Booster packs and dual discs, indeed, LT. Little summary about Minneapolis and New York's response to challenge Jenny's claim to being the dumbest leader in the U.S. Oh, Before I even read it, though, Chrome, I will say this. If I was going to look for someone to pit against her for that title, that's right where I would have looked, is those two places. All right, let me open that up. But this is biggest. Minneapolis City Council unanimously votes to abolish its police department and replace it with a community-led public safety system. While New York City leaders plan to cut $1 billion from the NYPD budget. Well, I will say this though. I think the $1 billion cut from the NYPD budget is going nowhere. Now, abolishing the police force in Minneapolis, that's a whole different thing. That may happen, and that'll be interesting as hell to see. But excuse me, even Numbnuts de Blasio has said that $1 billion is too much to cut, and if that idiot's even aware of it, I would think that makes that a non-starter. But the whole thing in Minneapolis, that's insanity. That'll be interesting to see. It would be funny if at some point the police realized that they were actually all going to be laid off, and instead of waiting for that, they all just said, if that's the case, fuck it, we'll all resign, and just let them go without any police department. See how that works. Michael Bardo says, check out the Colored Conservatives on YouTube. They have videos from inside the Chaz. The Colored Conservatives. Okay, I'll try to remember that for after the stream, Mike. The Colored Conservatives. I can't even imagine the videos. Well, I've seen some of the videos from inside Chaz. I mean, it's funny because it's equal parts hilarious and annoying. When you look at it at the surface, you have to laugh because to see these losers all grouped together shitting in a tent is just funny. But then the fact that you have governments that put up with stuff like this in America is annoying. Wholesome Dew says, okay, so now I'm on my phone, and every time someone super chats $5, the SC button on my screen blinks. I'm assuming Susan wants me to spend, so here you go, Susan. Now Susan's given not so subtle hints, huh, Tracker? Or I say that and I forget. Wholesome Deuce also used to be known as his screen name. He had another screen name as G Tracker. Sometimes I say that stuff and I don't I don't allow for the fact that not everybody knows the entire history of the channel. Yeah, so now Susan's really trying to get to you guys. Like, you haven't done a super chat in a little while here. Johnny says these window lickers can barely survive right now. I can't imagine how they'd fare in a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, I can't imagine them faring, Johnny, in any type of adverse situation. They're just not built for it in any way, shape, or form of dealing with true adversity. Oh, you going, Bye Love? Already. Thanks for being in. What Minnesota are attempting to do is going to lead to nothing but chaos and disorder. Well, sure, Helkin. And I think all people with reasonable cognitive ability see that, but they're going to have to find out for themselves. I feel bad for the innocent people in Minneapolis who don't support this kind of stupidity and what they're going to go through. That's unfortunate for them. Mara says, since Antifa is now officially a terrorist organization, couldn't one make the argument that this bitch of a mayor is assisting terrorists? Yeah, even if Antifa isn't. I mean, the thing of it is, Maz, how can this be anything else? Again, you're an independent group that stormed and took over a portion of U.S. land. That makes you a terrorist. Absolutely is terrorism. Okay, so this story is a few days old, but best way to fight Antifa, Chrome says. Let's see what this one is. Excuse me. Outlaw biker gangs heading to Seattle to mix it up with Antifa. This should be interesting. Oh, when are they getting there? I gotta see that. Wow. Let's see. Placerville, California. Antifa announced that they will be coming to town and dared anyone to stand in their way. To do so, there will be consequences, i.e. violence. Challenge accepted. In an unprecedented, never heard of in the history of the Hells Angels and Mongols, who incidentally are sworn enemies to the government, united and served notice to Antifa that they will be on location waiting. Last word from Antifa, they called off their protest. Well, what the fuck, Antifa? What the hell? I thought you wanted to fight. You dared someone to stand in your way. Oh, man. Could you Could you imagine watching the soy boy losers fighting with the Hell's Angels? Oh, I don't care what the price is on that pay-per-view. I'm spending it. I'm paying it. Cheap Jump Scare says, drop a live rattlesnake in the middle of Chaz. Give him 2 hours, he'll be king and rule over all their land out of fear. Absolutely. And Cheap Jump Scare, I'm sure he can probably, the rattlesnake would be able to create a more effective garden as well. Keith says, I don't think Chaz is that bad. In what respect, Keith? I mean, are you in support of individual groups just taking over areas of a city and claiming it autonomous? Or I'm not sure what you mean by that. I don't think Chaz is all that bad. I don't know what you mean. Hell's Angels, holy fuck, yeah, Kenny. That it sounds like Antifa talks a big game, but then when they throw down the gauntlets and say, we dare anybody to stand in our way, and somebody does, they just go, okay, never mind. Barry says, if I can't fight Antifa in the streets, I don't want to live anymore. I'm with you. Smokey Loki says, what's scary is that governments have learned that the best way to suppress people is through education. A population can't fight back if they don't know that they have something to fight back for. That's 100% true. I mean, look, that goes on and has gone on in communist nations forever. Absolutely. 100% right. Ma says, yeah, this is true. Just for those unaware, the Hells Angels and Mongols have been murdering each other like flies for decades now, so they have to really have to hate Antifa. Right. For them to work together on anything, yes. Yeah, Maz is 100% right. So that'll be interesting to see. I'd like to see Antifa. Actually, what I'd like to see is Antifa start up one of their meetings, protests, whatever they are, start their trouble wherever they want, and have the biker gang show up unannounced. Don't let them know they're coming. Let's just see what they do when push comes to shove and they're there. Tyrone says, when they cut off the utilities, can I point and laugh when the rapes and murders start? Well, according to some people, Tyrone, they're saying there are, and again, I don't know if this is true, but there are rumors coming out of Chaz now that the sexual assaults and stuff have already commenced. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but Helkin says they talk the talk, but are cowards to walk the walk completely. I mean, that's as plain and simple as you get right there. They challenged anybody to come stand in their way. Somebody said, okay, we'll come stand in your way. And they went, okay, well, we won't go then. Pussies. I say leave Chaz for a few more days just for the entertainment. There's something to be said for that, Trevor. It's entertaining as hell. It really is. They're so pathetic that it's funny. I mean, the things with the garden and now the shitting and pissing in a tent and stuff like that. It is so pathetic that it is kind of fun to laugh at them. Ran their motorcycles through the cardboard wall and now mow down some soy boys. Rick says that. Oh, could you imagine if those biker gangs showed up there? Oh fuck! Oh man! Yikes! Flaming Forcer says, I mean, technically, if you kill them in Chaz, then it's not American soil, so you cannot be tried in America. Good point. Yeah, we don't have an extradition treaty with Chaz as far as I know. So any crimes committed there, well. Dylan says, my grandpa saving the world, putting his life on the line and shooting countless people, giving him severe PTSD. Me saving the world, playing video games and jerking off. I'm with you, Dylan. I know the generations prior to mine were truly the greatest generation. Yes. Cheap Jump Scare says, I'll fight Antifa 1 versus 120 on me. Yeah, we've seen what Antifa looks like in a fight on a number of occasions, and there's plenty of video out there. Unless they have substantial numbers, unless they can get somebody, 10, 20 to 1, it never works out well for them. And when the biker gangs do hopefully eventually get to meet up with them, they should not only beat their ass, but pull those masks off and let everybody see who they are. Excuse me. Peter says, what are we talking about? Get me up to speed. I'm late. Just the whole thing, that Chaz thing, Pito, where the loser group took over a 6-block area in Seattle. We're just kind of laughing at how pathetic they are. Shit, piss, come and sweat all in a tent. Oh, I know, Waterground. Oh, you know what it's got? Oh, Can you imagine what it's smelling like in that area now? Oh, jeez. Yeah. Let's get Chaz to insult the Hell's Angels and see the results. I want to see some commie soy play get beat with chains. Gamer says that's fake news. You got to be more specific, Gamer. It, I mean, I'll have a conversation with you about something, but you got to be more specific because the chat moves substantially, or there's a delay, so it's behind what I'm actually saying. So I don't know what you're talking about as fake news. Crazy Gamer says it's weird, but I feel like one day my tablet is going to come alive because it already doesn't obey my taps. It taps other things I want. I wasn't even near, and it lags. It wants to be the boss of me. Yeah, you might be facing a coup, Crazy Gamer. It sounds like your laptop or your tablet has some sort of sentience, and it's only a matter of time. Maz says, did you see the thing about those 3 rioters potentially getting life sentences after tossing Molotov cocktails at the cops? No, I didn't. But I don't have a problem with it. If that's what they decided was a good idea at the time, yeah, I don't see any reason they should be out again. Gamer says, won't happen. Even top Hells Angels guys spoke about it, said it will never happen. What will never happen? That they won't. I'm not sure. Again, that they won't work with the other group there. That they aren't actually confronting Antifa. I don't know what you mean. Okay, shit, piss, and come in intent. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. P2 says none of us do. P2. Apparently in Chaz, because they've been denied the restroom facilities in the police station that is within their confines there, they have no place to go to the bathroom. So apparently they've set up a tent near the back where people just go in and piss and shit. You would think there's got to be something like that going on. Wouldn't you think, Barry? He says someone should take a film crew and make a documentary in Chaz for a week. Make it a 10-part special on Netflix. Sell it and profit off stupidity. You would think somebody has got to have the wherewithal to be in there right now documenting things, because there would be a big payout for it. I mean, maybe not, but I would think somebody's got to have that entrepreneurial spirit to go take advantage of these losers and create something just like that. Waterground says it probably smells like a morbidly obese World of Warcraft gamer that hasn't moved from where they've been sitting, pissing, and shitting and such. Yeah, Waterground. You made me think of that South Park episode as soon as you said that, though. Krusty Bomb says 1% of Afghanistan versus all of Chaz. In a hypothetical all-out war scenario, how long do you think Chaz will last? I really want to know your thoughts on this. I want to be a part of it, though. They won't last. Yeah, I think minutes. I think they'll last as long as the 1% decides to allow them to. Can't they go shit and piss in their houses? Alex says, well, that's the thing. They're largely, if any, they're not from that specific area. That's just where they decided to take over because the mayor had that police station boarded up. That's what started the whole thing. The mayor's responsible for all this. And anything that comes out of it is directly on Mayor Jenny Dipshit's shoulders, without a doubt. Chrome says, one small step. Okay, I'm going to check this status, just so you guys know what I'm looking at here. Not exactly like landing on the moon. Chazocrats. trying to plant the flag of Chaz into a garbage can. Come on. Is that real? That's not Photoshopped? Come on. An overflowing garbage can. Look at the photographer. If any of you guys are looking at that Chrome just posted, even the photographer in the background has got this little smirk on his face. And Chaz's flag is a bedazzled unicorn. Oh my God, what a bunch of idiots. Wait, so they don't even live there? Well, not within the confines, Alex, of that area they overtook. And now it's been several days. I believe there's people have come in from all different areas and are now populating the autonomous society that is Chaz. Willie says, I can't wait for my great grandkids to read about the year 2020 and think, wow, Papa Willie actually lived through this. Yeah, really. It'll be a badge of honor to have survived it, Willie. No doubt. Iram says, are you ready for the brave new world? I'm afraid I'm not, my friend. I'm afraid I'm not quite ready for it. I doubt Chaz could last more than 5 minutes against the Boy Scouts. I'm sure you're right, Johnny. I'm sure you're right. Kenny McCormick says, all the flag of Chaz is a cum stain on Mr. Slave's undies. Excuse me. Guys, this has been a fun stream. Unfortunately, I got to go. I got my son-in-law is coming over. He does painting on the side, and at my front porch has had it. It needs to be painted. So I was just about to start the stream, and he had contacted my wife and asked, if it was a good time to come over. So I said, just give me an hour, because I did. I want to hang out for a little while, and this is why, because I have so much fun with this stuff. But if nothing else, we got this working now, so that I can get the stream set up ahead of time and give you guys a little heads up when a stream is coming, because YouTube keeps changing the way we do everything on us here. So I think we've got this part down, which will be good. So going forward, we'll be able to do these more often. Again, where I give you guys, I schedule the stream so you guys have a heads up for what's coming in. And again, of course, if you're not, please, and you want to make sure you get notifications of the streams and the videos, just go join up at our Discord. Link is in all the description of all the videos, because notifications are very, very hit and miss, at say the least. Goosh says hi, Rice. Goosh indeed, my friend, because here it comes. Listen, we're going to, this sticky stuff today is autonomous sticky stuff. It belongs to no specific country. It belongs to no specific segment of the world. It's autonomous, and it's wonderful. It can't grow a plant, and it defecates in a tent, but it's autonomous, and it's just spectacular. So here it comes. Autonomous sticky stuff for all you guys. Get ready for it. Prepare for this. Autonomy is everything, baby. Get ready. Here it comes. Pumfu, pumfu. Sticky stuff. Autonomous sticky stuff for you. Autonomous sticky stuff for everybody. It's so fun. I feel like a sparkly purple unicorn. It's just so special. Well, bang, okay? Flashly like Buggy. And as always, most importantly, and autonomously, goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh.